Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here, coach of the Bronx Beartics with my Week 14 team analysis of the UCL. This time we are taking on Nips, coach of the Long Island RegiRockies, a fellow New Yorker. Yeah, he does live in Long Island. And yeah, he has a very threatening team. Number one on his list is maybe the MVP of Season 1 of the UCL for the Bronx Beartics. That might have actually just been the ace or the MVP. I don't know. Either that or Tornadus. And that's Weavile. If you guys didn't know, during the draft I actually wanted Weavile, but it wasn't my first pick. My first pick was Kyurem-Black. And even though two ice types would be like, what? I mean, they're just offensively, they're just ridiculous to switch into. The reason Weavile is so good in this league is just because of its speed and what it does. It doesn't matter if you know what it does, it's good at what it does. Dark and Ice are such great offensive typings. Cover that with Low Kick, so it's definitely a threat. Mega Zam is also a huge threat, especially to a fatter team like mine. That's why this week we're taking the not so bulky approach, more well, kind of bulky, but still more offensively, or a more offensive type of approach. And then you Pokemon like Dragalge, Specs Magneton, Sock, Choice Band Sock could definitely be issues. So he definitely has a bunch of threats. I built my team with my boy Tony Flagon. Big shots to him, and let's get right into it. So, we actually built them. This is actually the order of the mons that we built. So this week we noticed, okay, his defogger is Togetic, and that loses to my hazard setter Garbodor. And we decided to bring an offensive Garbodor because offensive Garbodor can 2-hit KO Eviolite Magneton 100% after a spike, and it also just smacks Togetic. It smacks Sock. Pretty much it OHKOs Mega Alakazam with Gunk Shot upon switching. I mean, if it wants to try and switch in on me. But it does OHKO Mega Alakazam, it does OHKO Weavile, and it just pretty much doesn't give him free switch-ins to anything. We are faster than Modest Magneton, and I ran dual hazards because basically I get up a Toxic Spike unless he brings Dragalge 100%, and or unless his defogger manages to defog, which is Togetic. But like I said, I do beat his defogger, and then spikes are really nice to pick up some KOs on Mega Alakazam, on Weavile. Because if you guys didn't notice, his team is very, very weak to my Kyurem-Black, potentially Scarf Kyurem-Black, which is what I'm actually bringing this week. If I can get rid of a Pokemon like Umbreon, I get to click Ice Beam or Earth Power or Draco Meteor, get to drop a nice Draco on him respectively. Speaking of which, the socks I think just shipped out. I'm so sorry for how long that took. I have no idea why. I was complaining to them every single week, 4 days a week. Okay, not 7 days a week, like 4 days a week. Or like every off day. But yeah, my Kyurem-Black can put in a lot of work, and with that, in order to do that, like a spike or a T-spike, wearing down Alakazam, wearing down Weavile, especially if it's like Life or Weavile, even wearing down Sock, because with Sturdy, that thing could be annoying. Choice Banded Sock. I just want a Garbodor. We have Aftermath just in case Weavile knocks me off, get off a bit of damage on that thing. Black Sludge allows us to take on Togetic better. Pretty much Togetic needs to be running Seismic Toss or Psychic, and Seismic Toss isn't even doing too much to me, and Psychic obviously is like a 3-hit KO, maybe a 4-hit KO, maybe close to a 4-hit KO. Togetic doesn't run too much special attack, though I do want to be aware of Nasty Plot Togetic to Alakazam, especially because it's very slow, so we'll be taking heavy slams, and it can pass to Alakazam, and Alakazam could be a threat at that. So we have Black Sludge Garbodor. Again, its job is to get up spikes, get up hazards, threaten the defogger, and even if he does bring Dragalge, just getting up a Toxic Spike forces Dragalge in, and just to absorb it, and I can take advantage of that. So next up we have my boy, or my girl, whatever you want to call it, Hard Body. It is female in this league. It is female. We have Hard Body, the Reuniclus, with Psychic, HP, Fighting, Recover, and Calm Mind with a Cobra Berry. Now with this Cobra Berry and 24 special attack EVs, we do 100% knockout Weavile after one Life Orb hit with Hidden Power Fighting. It also gives us an option to hit the Umbreon, which is more accurate than Focus Blast. I did not want to use Focus Blast, especially because everybody who uses it versus me misses, so I'm not about to risk it myself when I don't need to in this game. So Hidden Power Fighting, if I don't want to miss, I use Hidden Power Fighting, and that is exactly what I chose to do. With the Cobra Berry, we do take an Adamant Banded, or even a Life Orb, Weavile's knockoff. He can definitely afford to bring Adamant versus me, just because Ice Shard would pick off my fast dragons anyway if I was running Scarf like Garchomp or Flygon, and then knockoff is just so much stronger, and my team is kind of slow, so Weavile can definitely afford to be that. Mega Zam could actually afford to be Modest. God, I hope it's not. I have to play around that thing differently if it is Modest. I can't just go hard at the Snorlax, because if it is Modest Zam, then Focus Blast does 2-hit KO Snorlax. I mean, that's again assuming he hits 2 Focus Blasts in a row, but it does 2-hit KO Snorlax, so that's something I have to be aware of. But Reuniclus with Cobra Berry also hard stops Choice Band Sock, because if it goes for knockoff, I can recover the damage off after, and then Sock can't smack me with close comments. I'm not being 2-hit KO by those. This can also check Kingler, Swellow after a Combine Boost, Rampardos even after a Combine Boost. I can smack it with Psychic. Psychic is actually a lot stronger versus him than Psyshock. Outside of hitting Mega Alakazam weaker than Psyshock would, it pretty much hits everything else harder. Rampardos, Swellow, Kingler, Sock, Mag, all of them get hit harder by the Psychic. And also Chandelure. Well, and Chandelure the same defenses. But it just hits him harder than that. And then Combine Recover. This does give me one way of winning this game. Next up we have another way, which is my boy CBB. We're running Curse-Lax this week. Very fun Curse-Lax though, very fun Curse-Lax. We actually have Pursuit just because Chandelure and Mega Alakazam are such threats that I couldn't put Earthquake or Crunch on this thing. I don't even care about Rampardos at this point. It's those Pokemon that are the scariest monsters to deal with. So, after a Curse, we take Low Kicks from Weavile. We can take on the Kingler if it wants to, but basically ran a Leftovers number, a Jump Point with HP, and then Max Spadef. That way we could take 2 Timid Focus Blasts after, not after Rocks, but with Leftovers. And the Body Slam, what I believe it does is at +1, I knock out Weavile with Stealth Rock 100%, and I knock out Alakazam with Stealth Rock. So I believe +1 Body Slam does around 87% to Alakazam, if I'm not mistaken. So we do knock it out with Stealth Rock. Again, Mega Alakazam. Mega Alakazam doesn't have Magic Guard, so it will be taking Stealth Rock damage if I do manage to get them up. And the rest was just put into defense. And then I had 4 left over, so I put that in speed for no reason, whatever. Or absolutely no reason. Oof. Stumbling on words today. But Spadef, so I can also take on Dragalge and Chandelure. Pretty much just Chandelure and Alakazam, and I can Pursuit them. And if Pursuit doesn't knock them out, it doesn't without a boost. But what it does do is it puts them in range of Ice Beam from my Scarf Kyurem-Black, and I can just click that and just spam it, and that's what I'm trying to do. If I get rid of Umbreon this game, which I do have a few months to deal with, I mean, Combine Reuniclus beats Umbreon anyway, unless it's like Curse Umbreon. If it is Curse Umbreon, it needs to be Rest Talk to not be affected by Toxic from some of my members, and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, basically, Snorlax just gives me also a check to potentially spec Swellow's Boom Burst. It can also be Hippo 1v1 if it is not Whirlwind, since I do have Rest. And then it just helps me so much versus like Mag. As you can notice, we did not bring a ground type, so Mag can Volt Switch around versus us. But because of the Pokemon I do have, and pretty much the Mons I have, Mag can't do anything to. It's not doing anything to. Garbodor outspeeds and 2-hit KOs. If it is Scarf Mag, it's a lot weaker than Specs Mag or Analytic Mag, which he could definitely bring versus me. Analytic is something I would bring, or I guess he could also bring Magnet Pool just in case he wants to get off insured damage with a Volt Switch on Aggron. But even then, like, I opted just to bring this instead of a ground type just because I think it works better versus him. But next up we have Beatdown, the Pokemon I've been talking about the entire time. It is a Choice Scarf, Kyurem-Black, enough speed to outspeed Timid, Alakazam, Mega Alakazam. Even though I'm thinking he might bring Modest versus me. Modest is very good versus me. But max special attack, and then 68 attack. Pretty much the rest was just dumped into attack. And why I have Outrage is because it knocks out Weavile and Alakazam. But if I weaken all of them with Ice Beam, or excuse me, with Pursuit from Snorlax, everything dies to Ice Beam. Earth Power because it hits Magneton. And it also hits Dragalge. If he has those two left, I can hit them both. And I can just drop Dracos on him for days. His resistance is Magneton, which will not take it well, and Togetic, which I can obviously follow up with an Ice Beam. So pretty much I'm going to use this, spam Ice Beam versus him. Kingler's 2-hit KO by Ice Beam. Sock is 2-hit KO, excuse me. I also have Terravolt, so if it is Scarf Sock, I can drop a Draco on that thing through Sturdy. And then again, Ice Beam just hits Hippowdon well. But pretty much this is a Pokemon that I'll probably be setting up to win with late game. I think Scarf Kyurem just does so well versus him, especially if I can get rid of Umbreon. Umbreon just hard walls this thing. Umbreon hard walls this thing, but we do have support of the team. Reuniclus beats Foul Play Umbreon 1v1. Obviously with Magic Guard, it can't Toxic me. Foul Play isn't going to be doing too much, though it does pop my Cobra Berry, so I'll make sure he doesn't do that. Next up, we have the captain of the Bronx Beartics, and this is one of our main ways to knock out Umbreon. It is a Tail Glow Rain Dance set with hydration, so if it does Toxic me, the rain being up means we get rid of that. We do have enough speed for Timid Sock. Okay, Jolly Sock is what I meant to say. But you know, it's same speed tier. Enough speed for that. Enough special attack to knock out Alakazam and Weavile at +3 with Scald. 100% in rain, obviously, but also outside of it. So enough special attack to knock them out. And then the rest was put into HP. This allows us to take on Umbreon better. I think Foul Play has a 5-hit KO with this. Takes on Hippowdon better. Takes on a knockoff from Weavile better. We also knock out Dragalge at +3 with Ice Beam. Kingler drops with Scald anyway. This also gives us a Kingler switching if I need to. Though obviously Sheer Force Kingler is a little bit strong. The only attack he really has to abuse that is what? Rock Slide, I think? If I'm not mistaken. So I don't even know if he'd bring Kingler versus me. Just because the fatter mons on my team definitely beat it. Unless it's like sub SD leftovers and it sets up on Alomola. That'd be cool. That'd be definitely cool. I'm not bringing Alomola, obviously. But Ice Beam and Scald just hit his entire team. Ice Beam allows me to deal with pretty much the Dragalge, which is the only thing that takes on Scald on his team. So yeah, Tailglow Manaphy can set up on Umbreon. I'll probably bring it hard into Umbreon, to be honest. Or even to a Hippowdon. And I can just set up on them, Tailglow up, Ring Dance, and then he's forced to sack Pokemon. Also, with the EVs, I don't die to like Alakazam's Energy Ball. I don't die to Weavile. I don't die to Sharp Energy Ball from Chandelure. I'm also faster than Chandelure, faster than Sock. I can Scald them, Sturdy's broken. And if it's Scarf Sock, it's a lot less of a threat. One, it doesn't even knock me out. He has to be Banded Sock to knock me out with like close combat. I think I live one close combat, and obviously I'm faster, so he's not even going to be able to do that. But Bandit Sock is a Pokemon that is harder to switch into, a lot harder to switch into than Scarf Sock. Scarf Sock doesn't even kill Snorlax after a curse. Doesn't even kill Garbodor with Earthquake. So it doesn't kill anything outside of maybe my Kyurem-Black. And Kyurem-Black is obviously faster and can drop a Draco and knock the thing out. So Manaphy, again, matches up very well versus him. And last but not least, we have Pensa. I got brawlers and anyway, we got my Mega Aggron. She is coming back this week. Our Stealth Rocker, Max Spadef or near Max Spadef. And Heavy Slam is so we can knock out Weavile, Alakazam with the EV spread. Chandelure also dies to Earthquake 100% after Stealth Rock, which is why I put 36 attack to ensure that it does die after Stealth Rock 100%. And Toxic is nice because he has no switch-ins for this set. This set, I'll go down the list. Weavile, Alakazam, Heavy Slam, Hippowdon, Toxic, Umbreon Toxic, can't even synchronize it back. Chandelure Earthquake, Dragalge Earthquake, Togetic Toxic and Heavy Slammed, Manaton Earthquake, Sock, I live a close combat and can Heavy Slam it back and kill it. Kingler is going to be Toxic. Swallow dies to Heavy Slam, then Rampardo's Heavy Slam plus Earthquake. So, Spadef, Aggron is making a return. It does check Alakazam. It takes a Focus Blast and smacks it back with a Heavy Slam. Checks Weavile, even if it's low kick. It needs to be Choice Banded low kick, I think, to 2-hit KO me, if I'm not mistaken. Adamant Choice Banded low kick, specifically to 2-hit KO me. And, again, I get up Stealth Rock versus a Defog, which is the main reason I wanted it. And Toxic and Umbreon, Toxic and Hippowdon helps a lot with, like, Calm Mind, Hard Body, just winning a lot quicker. So I definitely wanted this mon. It also takes on Spec Swellow's Boom Burst if he does manage to bring that Rampardos. Though Mold Breaker obviously would hurt. Mold Breaker Earthquake. I check it. I definitely check it. So that's why I wanted to bring my Mega Aggron this week. Matches up pretty well versus him. And that is a team that we are bringing for the 14th week of the UCL. The UCL is almost done. I believe I'm guaranteed playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. I have 2 losses at the moment. And I think the next people are, like, the people behind me, I think, are J, A-Drive, and Nexus. And I think they all have 5 losses or 4 losses. I have no idea what they have. Something like that. It's been a while since I played them. Oh, Jay obviously played last week. But I still don't remember Jay's score after the game. I don't remember any of the scores. I have to look it up after. But I think I'm already guaranteed at least 3rd place in playoffs. But if I do win this game, I think that just 100% guarantees that. I don't know exactly. Someone will let me know in the comment section. But that's the team for this week of the UCL. I hope you guys are hyped. The battle will be up tomorrow on Saturday at, I usually try and go for 4 p.m. because Pixelmon is back, so I try to put Pixelmon at 2. So the battle will be up on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Goodbye.